They are doctors and experts in health, fitness, and nutrition. They use advanced and cutting-edge science and techniques to achieve results that are always efficient, effective, and proven. They improve the lives and function of top professional athletes and executives on a daily basis. They practice what they preach by competing in bodybuilding, Spartan, MMA, and life. They are Team Functionised, and this is the Functionised podcast. May you be a better version of yourself each day. Live Functionised.
Welcome to the Functionised podcast. This is your mad scientist, Jim. While you are beginning this podcast, take a screenshot, post it up to your Instagram, and tag us at Functionised. That way we will know you are following us, and you will get a new follower and direct others your way as well. We greatly appreciate you being here, and as always, if you like this podcast, we ask you to give us that glowing 5-star review. It helps us get out to the masses and helps individuals learn and hopefully be entertained just a crap ton more on the topics that we discuss. There's so much information out there, it is ridiculous. It's tough to know what is up, what is down, what is left, what is right, because everybody, including your plumber, is trying to tell you how the plumbing of your internal organs are working. And you know what? If I've got a plumbing job to do in the house, I will call a qualified plumber. When it comes to the plumbing job in your body, call a doctor. Just saying. Today I want to talk about letting go of fear. Now, if I asked you, are you afraid to succeed? The overwhelming majority of people are going to tell me, no, of course, I'm not afraid to succeed. I'm ready for success. I can succeed right now. Give me $1 billion. That's success. Give me a family of 4. I'm ready for success. Are you really ready for success? I mean, how long have you been hammering home at something and still not succeeded? What may be holding you back? I mean, are we still playing the blame game? My mom's fault. My dad didn't love me. I had no parents. The landlord, the bank, all these external influences, are they the reason keeping you from success? Or is it really the fear within yourself? Let me ask you, if you were starting a business, maybe you already have started a business, are you willing, or have you already mortgaged your house, mortgaged your car, plunked down your life savings and put it all on the line, just let it all ride? No safety net. Are you ready to have no safety net? Have you done that before? You know what? Great. Step 1. How about making a move? You can complain all you want about living in whatever town, whatever state you are. But are you more happy to complain? Or do you like to actually see the different change and be in a happier state, both physically and metaphorically? It takes a lot to uproot your life. It takes a lot to uproot yourself, your spouse, significant other, children, and start fresh. Why is that? Because there's the unknown. You may not have employment set up. Your company may not have moved over there. You don't know. And this all comes from fear. Can you let go? Can you truly let go? This is an underlying issue in order to get to that next step, get to that next level. Some have done it, and some have not. Those that have done it may have hit certain echelons that they can't get past. You may see somebody who's bringing in $5, $10, $20, $50 million a year, maybe even more. You may see somebody that's struggling to get by month to month and just barely scrape by the rent. No matter what your financial status, there's a certain drive in many of us to want more. I mean, we have this innate sense of conquering. And if we are not where we want to be at, why is that? Elon Musk, for instance, could have stopped with PayPal. Stop at PayPal, sell it to eBay, kick back, live the high life. He wanted more. He had more vision, more drive, and found ways to do what was necessary to create the things that he's created, to create the solar energy brand that he has, to create Tesla, to go into outer space. I mean, these are quite amazing feats. Maybe you have visions to do things like that yourself, but don't know where to go, don't know where to start. Well, what's preventing you? Is there a fear standing in your way? Personally, I love supporting those that are motivated to improve their lives and realize and release themselves from fear. I want to help you release fear-related compromises from your life so you can experience and achieve all of your goals and aspirations. Now, there's a difference here also between anxiety and fear. In the United States alone, over 40 million people actually suffer from anxiety-related disorders. I'll admit, I too myself have had different degrees of anxiety throughout my life. It was very difficult, especially in my, say, junior high, high school years, and kind of pinnacled when I got to my freshman year of undergrad down in the University of Tampa. And it took a lot to overcome. And I fully empathize with those that may wake up in the morning and for no reason whatsoever suffer from anxiety. You just get that nervousness that you can't get rid of. No matter what you do, it's almost crippling. Very difficult to overcome that. But it is possible. It is possible to get that screw you attitude towards that anxiety and move forward. And I'll admit, even now, I experience anxiety that gets worse from time to time. And it's actually through utilizing pulsed electromagnetic frequency, audiovisual entrainment, mindfulness, that the anxiety has been able to be alleviated. I give a lot of thanks to Shantae Goetz, shantaegoetz.com, ChanteaGoetz.com, who has broadened my horizons and opened me up to how to utilize these different technologies. And I gotta say, has been an absolute game changer. It's helped me personally be far more successful by alleviating the anxiety. And when it is fear, it truly is fear, which, let's face it, it's something in our mind. It's nothing in reality. It's a situation that we create to ourselves that most of the time is not even true. That is the fear that we overcome. Fear is actually a concept. It's like a sensation. It's generally considered that anxiety is used to define an ongoing sense of disease or worry about areas of life which don't really present themselves as life-threatening. Fear typically is what you feel, though, in a scary situation, right? It's a sudden jolt. It's that saber-toothed tiger that's chasing you. Anxiety, though, is less noticeable, and it's recurring, and can be, as I was saying just now, far more problematic. Deciphering one versus the other is pertinent. Absolute pertinent. What happens when your body becomes afraid? This is getting into the biology of a little bit. The physical aspect and emotion of fear is what we're all accustomed to experiencing at some point in life. Get on a roller coaster for the first time, and a lot of people may feel fear. The commonly observed sensation of fear occurs in response to the external stimulus and actually causes the amygdala in your brain to release a hormone called cortisol. Cortisol, which is that fight or flight hormone, causes our bodies to respond unconsciously and elicit anticipation of danger or attack from that external source. And from the amygdala, cortisol then travels to every muscle in the body and causes them to activate and tense up in a fear response as the unconscious physical body prepares to protect itself from attack. Physically, cortisol increases the release of glucose into the bloodstream, and it's a way to increase the energy levels in the immediate response to a dangerous stimulant. Glucose goes to the muscles. You're now able to get away from this external saber-toothed tiger, if you will, the attacker, whatever that you need to preserve life from. Your body's going to release glucose, and it should only be a brief amount of time. And in my upcoming book, this is also where I talk about when you have increased senses of anxiety, your body cannot differentiate between that life or death experience versus the situation that you're literally putting yourself through. So you're going to have increased glucose, which means increased insulin, which means you're going to be retaining body fat. This is not something that is optimal, especially for a long-term health, fitness, wellness for your body. Oftentimes, individuals with high levels of anxiety who are misinterpreting this as fear all the time as well have a tougher time losing body fat. You bring down that anxiety levels, cortisol levels come down. Now your body is free to release body fat. Your body is free to be. Your body is free to be a high-performing individual. You will have a far greater chance at being yourself. In the 21st century, the time that we live, this fight or flight reaction is an evolutionary trait that is omnipresent. This reaction is something that our bodies have learned to utilize as a way to preserve ourselves. Now, with the hustle and bustle and increased external stimuli, we can't tell the difference between life or death or news is being bombarded at us. The handheld device that you probably have in your hand or right next to you at this very moment actually has been shown to produce a lot of stress. Unplug. I can't say this enough. Unplug. If you don't need it, if you've got your loved ones around you, everyone's around you, put on airplane mode. Go away. The world can, no offense, the world can live without you. Unfortunately, and it's sad to say, any of us go, it may be a sad day for some, and then they will move on. It's harsh, but it's true. Be at peace with yourself. This is far easier to do when you unplug, even if it's for an hour or two. If you're watching a game or a movie, you're out with friends, unplug. What are you texting for if your friends are around you? I mean, seriously. What are you putting on Facebook if your friends are around you? What are you really putting on Facebook unless you're promoting a company? No knock against Facebook. It connects a lot of people, but there's a time and place for things. Your email, do you need to check it 20 times a day? No, you don't. These are all external stressors. If you have kids, you've got enough stress in your life. Why add on to it? increased cortisol is what's going to happen. Your body's going to think that a saber-toothed tiger is continuing to come at it. You're going to be performing less as a human being. It's going to take a lot more to get over it. And you're going to become less successful. I mean, you're already filling yourself up with all this time that is wasted. I mean, you can track how long you're on your phone. Go ahead, track it. I challenge you. 4, 5, 6 hours a day. Those little couple minutes here and there. It adds up. I got to say, it adds up a lot. What would you do with an extra 6 hours every day? You know, individuals tell me all the time, I have no time, I'm too busy. Somebody actually told me that in the last 2 weeks, they couldn't step on a scale because they were too busy. I asked them if they brushed their teeth. I asked them if they used the restroom or took a shower. The answer is yes to those. And I asked where the scale is. It's in the bathroom. I asked how long does it take to weigh yourself? 5 seconds. Person was too busy in those 5 seconds in order to weigh themselves. And they actually had some weight loss related goals. Now those weight loss related goals have taken a back seat. Meanwhile, their iPhone says 8 hours plus per day. And they struggle to lose weight. These stress-related hormones are keeping that individual from success. What if it comes to starting your own company? Are you able to negotiate properly with contracts? Are you able to have the right marketing that goes out? Are you able to attract the right people? Are you able to be the right person in front of you, giving that proper Disney World experience to each and every individual that steps in front of you? By that Disneyland experience, I mean, if you are the true solution for somebody, and that's really what a business transaction is, you have a solution for their problem. There is an exchange for that solution. I have had some problems that I needed solutions for. I found that solution, and if that individual was not on their game, then they don't get my business. Same with you. And the more the business that you get, the more that you can grow. The more that you can grow, the closer you are to your goals. And every little box that you check off gets you one step closer, and one step closer, and one step closer. If we follow guidelines that acknowledge the truth of our fears, notice them for what they really are, we can begin to differentiate between rational fears versus irrational fears. There's usually some sign that you'll know if your reactions are exaggerated or not. So it's essential to remain aware of your surroundings for these reasons. It's all about being mindful. Be curious about your fears. If you're feeling a fear, if you're feeling excess anxiety, take that time to ask yourself why. Get to the root cause of it. Nip it in the bud fast. Can you actually change? Is it in your power and control? One thing I have learned in this world that we live in, we have no control. Zero, zip, zero, zilch of daily occurrences. The only control that we truly have, argue with me up and down, I'm going to be stubborn on this one. The only thing that we can change is what we say and do, and what we choose not to say and do. That's it. What we say and do, we can control. What we choose not to say and do, we can control. Everything else is manifested through the universe. It's what happens each and every day. The main problem that is the question that often comes up during the power struggles maintaining and recent control of fear, our own capacity to change is actually infinite. And it's vital that we access this potential if we're to actually start thriving. So notice these statements here, if they have wormed your way into the everyday dialogue. Do you ever say to yourself, I'm not capable? Or, I'd love to, but I couldn't. Or, this isn't for someone like me. I'm not able to. I'm too busy. How many people with fitness even are so embarrassed? They see themselves as less for some reason and say to themselves, I'll get in shape when I will work on my nutrition when I will start a business when all this procrastination stuff and putting off and blaming other things, when, remember, you can control what you do and say and what you do not do and say. By putting these things off and procrastinating, that's your choice. That is one thing you can control. If any of these things kind of resonate with you, you may need to change that inner dialogue that surrounds your fears. So how do you release and accept things? The most important thing to consider when you're seeking to let go of any fear is to fully acknowledge it for what it is and how it's formulated in your mind. Only by familiarizing yourself with the fear can you hope to overcome it. So breaking it down into a few steps here. Step 1, acknowledge the fear. Know it is present. Step 2, release the control surrounding it. You have no control. You have none. Release that control. And most people get stuck at either step 1 or 2. It's tough to face your fears. I've still got a poster that I have from either 6th or 7th grade in my big boy bedroom now on the back of the door. So the door is closed at night. When I open up the door in the morning, it's this little wave, and it's a no fear. I don't even know if the company's around anymore. It says, face your fears, live your dreams. Hopefully by now it's starting to resonate, but I gotta say, it is so tough to face your fears. It's terrifying. Whether it helps you or not, one little trick that I have learned is to write the stuff down. Write down what you would like to do. Write down your goals. And I'm not even getting to a vision board yet. I'm simply saying just write down the goals, short-term goals. A bunch of short-term goals leading to a long-term goal. Then write down the steps that you need to do. So, for instance, today on a new space for Functionised, I would like to get the signage up. What are the steps for that? I know I need to measure the windows. I've already got the signage, so I've done that, but measure them for making it uniform in the middle. Get masking tape to tape it up. Peel, stick, get any bubbles out. Get a hair dryer to make sure that happens in a little pin. I would like to get that done today. I've written those steps down. Check each one off the list, and guess what? As terrifying as it is to have a new space and start new, it's necessary for the bigger picture, and that will be done. And at the end of the day, it's not still sitting there. Because if it's still sitting there, I will fail. And as a result, others will fail. And I have others' lives and the extended lives of others literally resting on my shoulders. You know, as the head of any organization, it's not just about you. It's about all those who work for you. It's about all their lives as well. And if they have families, it's about them and their children and their extended families and how they are when they go home to them and how they treat them. It's all about that. And if I fail, then they can fail. And all those that we service don't get the opportunity, the proper opportunity, to live out the mission of truly living Functionized because they didn't write that stuff down. Number 3, decide which action to take and overcome it. 4, take the action and make a lasting change. Once the signage is up, it's up. Once the place is set up, it's up. Put all effort, energy, and concern into creating and maintaining that change. Let's face it, you're going to half-ass it. You're going to do a piss-poor job. You're going to slap it up and be proud of it. Or you're going to take that time and do it. I'm not talking about being perfectionist. I'm talking about doing it to the best of your ability. Move on. Take ownership of it and move forward. When it comes to your health and fitness, what are you scared of? You scared of being obese? You scared of what others are going to think about you? You scared of what you're going to look like in a bathing suit or come summertime? You can actually use that fear to motivate yourself. Are you going to release control? Or are you going to continue to hold on to that and beat yourself up? You know what? You're overweight. So freaking what? You are where you are. Let's figure out exactly where you are so we can just chart your progress going forward. Because once you're moving forward, there ain't no point in looking back, is there? Which action to take and overcome it? Yeah, don't just start going out and working out haphazardly. You'll slow your metabolism down, especially if you're overweight. Don't start dieting. It's ridiculous. Get on a lifestyle plan. You know, when you compare that high-fat diet and no carb to a high-carb diet, no fat, at the end of the day, either one is going to work, but only if you remove the crap that you're probably eating. What are you going to do about it? You're going to keep on buying the crap? You're going to keep on going out every night and eating the crap? You're going to make the better changes. You're going to use that fear, or you're just going to go along with it. Are you going to take this action? Are you going to choose to do what is necessary for you and ingrain that into your mind? Are you going to utilize technology and reform your brain and the different brain patterns and firing? Make your body work more efficiently. Make your hormone levels more efficiently. Get out of that fight or flight all the time. Are you going to do this? Are you going to do this each and every day and make it a habit? Take it one day at a time. Because a lot of single days make a lot of days. You're going to make this a lifestyle or not. I mean, these are the choices. These are up to you. A lot of individuals find mindfulness, meditation, certain physical activities where you have to be all in, such as yoga. I mean, yoga is not a stretching activity. People say, I do yoga to get more flexible. No. You're going to get more flexible in the positions that you're in. You may not be able to touch your hands to the floor simply by doing yoga, unless you practice those poses every single day. It's about being mindful of the pose, being mindful of the breath. Where are you at in space? This will help reform your brain, not just in utilizing yoga as the example. Say you're exercising, say you're in a run. When you're running, you thinking about anything and everything, or are you thinking about one step in front of the other and being one with nature, being one with where you're at? What are you doing? If you're reading, is your mind everywhere else, or are you into that book? Are you into that story? This greatly, greatly helps. Many individuals will feel lighter and more themselves by being mindful and being into it. That's why I like audiovisual entrainment so much, because it's an amazing tool to disconnect yourself with the external sources of the world and connect yourself with the internal sources of your mind without having to really do any effort, and your brain literally gets reprogrammed. Hashtag game changer on that one. By doing this, it allows us to cultivate a more stable foundation for all difficult emotions, not just fear or anxiety. And from the stable base, we're less susceptible to succumb to the onset of fear and anxiety. I mean, it doesn't mean it's not going to occur, just the capacity to deal with them becomes stronger. And I got to say, that's my personal main thing, if you would, and how I personally have gotten over so much strife with anxiety and fears throughout my life is becoming more resilient, knowing when it kicks in, and how to get over it far, far quicker. Let's talk about depression for a second. And it's said that depression occurs when you're living in the past, or fear or anxiety occurs when we try too hard to live in and predict the future. So this means that living in the now becomes an almost impossible task. And it's an impossible task which is necessary for truly to let go of fear and release ourselves from the grip of the fear forever. And through these various practices like meditation, mindfulness, and other pursuits, you're going to find noticeable differences in the capacity you possess to stay present. And making this a priority as you move forward in life has been proven to be extremely useful in fighting symptoms of other mental and physical illnesses too. Depression often sets in from being in this state of fear and anxiety for too long. Then you live in the past, and before you know it, you're taking medication, drooling, and disconnected with the world because you've got a fog over your head. I've been there too, and that's how I know how to discuss it so good. It's no fun to be on medication. You cannot experience the joys of life so much. And it's preventable. It's very preventable. And medications, it's Zoloft, I think, has been shown compared to physical exercise when it comes to depression, you get the same actually effects. So why have to start taking something when you have the power to control what you do and what you don't do? One of my favorite tools, absolute favorite, and it's a foundation for success in life. This is a hidden secret that is omnipresent each and every one of our lives, and that is gratitude. Yes, gratitude. It is a practice, and it is so powerful. It has a powerful and immediate effect. The areas of your brain which activate during the practice of gratitude are the same places which are associated with the release of dopamine, which is the happy hormone. By drawing awareness back in the present and away from your perceived fears, stories, and mental meanderings, the gratitude actually has the capacity to bring an anxious, fearful person from a bout of uncontrolled anxiety back to the present moment and towards contentment. It really is that powerful. This fantastic capacity to have both an emotional and physiological response in the body is actually part of the reason why the gratitude is so powerful. It's an all-around healing tool for releasing fear, anxiety, negativity. During some very difficult times in my life, I learned more about gratitude. Now, don't get me wrong, my mom and dad were wonderful in teaching me my pleases and thank yous, and I've always been a polite little boy. And I truly mean it when I say thank you very much. And when I tell somebody I appreciate them, it's from the bottom of my heart. I truly do appreciate them. I appreciate everybody who comes into Functionised. I appreciate those in my life. And like does attract like. But what I actually started doing was a gratitude journal. Every single night before going to bed, I would write down 3 things I am grateful for from that day. And they must be different. You can't just say, I am thankful for my son, I'm thankful for my daughter, I'm thankful for my car, I'm thankful for my house, I'm thankful... No. That's boring. What happened that day that you're grateful for? Focus on that. Focus and be in that experience. I am thankful for that delicious apple that I ate. The crispness, the sweetness, and the nutrients nourish the cells of my body. And then say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or write down, even better, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's something to practice. You don't need a large notebook or anything, just a pad of paper by your bedside. I challenge you, do this every night. Every single night, 3 new things that you're grateful for from that day. And every morning when you wake up, I give thanks for that day. I wake up and say, I am grateful for this day and the new experiences. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then put my feet on the floor and get moving. There's other things as well. I've got little beads or a rock that you can utilize, or any object you keep in your pocket all day, and as you reach in that pocket, you feel it, and then you give thanks for something right there and on the spot. Over time, you start to live in gratitude. And like I said, like attracts like. If you're grateful for these things, you will be getting more of these things. If you start to dwell on what you're not thankful for, that person that may have cut you off, the unexpected bill that came in, the child that decides that they're going to sneak a lot of candy and eats the eldest child's candy to sell to pay for a trip to go to Six Flags Great Adventure for a choir competition. Yeah, you can dwell on that all you want. Dwell on your favorite team losing. And what's going to happen? Like attracts like, you're going to attract more of that. As you bring yourself into this attitude of gratitude, more and more good things will be happening in your life. And these negative things you will notice less because they'll be happening less. Your anxieties will begin to disappear. Your fears will begin to disappear. You begin to take that power of your life, utilizing the proper choices because you're now choosing to be grateful, and you will notice the success starts to increase slowly but surely until you become an overnight success in 10 years from now. This becomes a state of flow, the zone, if you would. It's a state of consciousness that's characterized by periods of intense focus and undistracted concentration on one specific task. And there's been a myriad of research shown that those who spend more time in the flow state experience lower levels of anxiety and fear. And it can be very effective to manage this state. Artists describe their most profound insights as stemming from a state of flow. And it's also known to be a period of low emotional fluctuation where the areas of the brain associated with learning, happiness, and positivity are active. Every once in a while you see an athlete. They go on a tear in a good way. They're not thinking. They don't feel anxiety. They don't feel fear. They're in this flow state. They're honed in. Practicing gratitude, practicing mindfulness, practicing your art and doing what you are intent on doing brings you into this flow state. It's amazing how fear is eliminated. The power of silence is amazing. How loud is it in your life? Is your phone blinging all the time? Turn off all of those notifications. I have one bling thing on my phone, and that's from my wife. She's the only one with 24/7 access to me. Sorry, everybody. I will see your message or your call when I get to the phone because those that are in front of me should be the most important ones. I will return your phone call. I will return your message during the appropriate time. But if you're getting those bling bling all the time, the phone in the office is going off, kids are running around yelling and screaming, you hear cars, whatever it may be, this puts you at a state of panic. You're not in a flow state anymore. Fight or flight happens. Your body can't tell whether it's craziness from that saber-toothed tiger chasing after you, coming at you, and you need to get out of the way, or what's actually happening in your life. Find a way for silence. A lot of people have a difficult time, I gotta say, with silence. And you can dismiss it all you want up and down. And no offense, I really don't care. And I say I don't care because that's an excuse. If you're having difficulty with periods of silence, there are peak performance coaches at Functionised, www.functionised.com. And I'll give the pop again to chantegoetz.com, chanteagoetz.com. You want a better life? You want to be successful? Or do you want to live in fear and anxiety and walk around like your head's cut off all the time? Your choice. Remember, you can choose. Loving and kindness. This is kind of with gratitude. As you are more grateful for things, you find the power of your heart increases. You appreciate. When you appreciate, you find love. And I'm not talking about love in other individuals. I'm talking about love of life. Love in who you are and where you're at. This is crucial. Absolutely crucial. I ask you all to stop indulging your fear. It's funny how we indulge the things that least serve us. When it comes to fears, we let the imagination run away with us, don't we? And staying in a negative cycle of fear-indulging habits is the main issue we find ourselves stuck in quite often. When you observe an emotion, fear, or sensation, it's up to you how to deal with it. Indulging in the sensation will strengthen it, allowing it more time and energy when you know it's probably damaging and probably the worst thing you can do, right? The hardest part of all this is that the only way through is to be strong and not let the thought take charge. Take note when you start feeling fear, anxiety, ignore it, choose another outlet for it to be expressed, and let go of the fear. What I'm going to suggest here is have a object in your pocket. Small, little beads, a marble, a rock, something that's not sharp. Something that you enjoy and appreciate. And if you feel fear creeping in, hold on to it. Make it a habit. Reach down for it. Put it in your hands. Give thanks. Just start rattling off things that give thanks and be in that moment. Truly start to be in that moment. Your life is going to change for the better. Use the pulsed electromagnetic frequency. Visit ShantaeGoetz.com and get a device you can put on your head. Hit the anxiety button on there and let the frequencies start to shape your mind as you use your gratitude object. Remove these negative sensations of fear that really are self-perceived and made up by us. I ask you, stop waiting for the right time, because there is no right time. And I promise you, if you're waiting for the right time, the universe will pass you by, because this universe that we live in is moving so fast. There's a thing about patience and there's a thing about procrastination. Many of us allow that fear to dictate important decisions, and we long for the clarity to know exactly what the outcome of everything is going to be, resisting to take action until the right time presents itself. Unfortunately, this very often leads to the indulgence of fears and lack of action in any area of life. The reality is that the right time may never actually occur, and waiting for it might end up postponing us in our lives and prolonging states of suffering that really don't need to be endured. When you wait for the right time, fear wins. Do it. Nike has an amazing motto. It says, just do it. Get your ass off the couch, get up and do it. What are you waiting for? Sorry, you tired? Get up and do it. Are you being lazy? Get up and do it. Would you rather play some video games? Get up and do it. Playing on your phone? Turn that thing off, get up and do it. Learn to let go. Learn the root causes. Become grateful. Learn love through gratitude. Become a better version of yourself. You have the power to choose what you do, what you think. You have the power to choose what you don't do and what you don't think. Utilize this power to your advantage. Be the master over yourself. Be the king or queen of yourself. Hey, as I always tell the kids, as long as you never hurt yourself and you don't hurt anybody else around you, you're free to do what you want to do. Let go of fear. Be a better version of yourself each and every day. This is what it means to truly, truly, truly live functionized. And now, from the bottom of my heart, I want to give my thanks to you. I 100% truly appreciate you for being here. Truly appreciate you listening. I hope that this podcast may have helped you in some way. Look for our upcoming podcasts each and every week. We have some very exciting guests coming up. We have some very exciting updates on our website at functionised.com. Also check out fitlabnj.com. Very exciting new website that links to a lot of new aspects of all that we do. And we are easy to DM at Functionized on Instagram. Get us at Functionized on Facebook. And as always, thank you, thank you, thank you. Have an absolutely amazing day. Live Functionized. This is your mad scientist, Jim. I am out.